Hello everyone, this is Rajshekhar Bhagwatala from Marvel Chess Academy. Welcome to my series of chess lectures. In this lecture, we are going to learn about king moves and castling rules. The king can go any direction one step. For example, in the given position, the king on d8 can go along a file, rank, or a diagonal one step. So here the king can move to e5, e4, e3, d3, c3, c4, c5 and d5. Totally the king can go to 8 squares. King is also involved in a special move called castling. Let us see what is castling. There are two types of castling. One is short castle and other is long castle. A castling is a rule or a move where the king and rook are moved in one turn. Here, if you see, the squares between the white king and the white rook are empty. The square f1 and g1 are empty. So the king and rook can change their position in one move. So for castling, one has to first touch the king and move it 2 steps right for short castle, and once the king lands 2 steps right, you have to lift your rook and put it beside the king. Here, this is called short castle. The reason why it's called short castle is because the number of squares between the king and rook are 2, which means that you have to develop 2 of your pieces before you can do short castle. However, if you would like to do long castle, in this case, there are 3 pieces that white has to develop: the knight, the bishop and the queen. Once those 3 pieces are moved, the squares between the king and rook are now empty. b1, c1 and d1 are empty. So now we do long castle because there are 3 squares. It's called long castle. So now king moves 2 squares left, d1 and c1, and the rook comes beside the king to d1. This is called long castle. If you do the castling king side, it is called short castle. If you do the castling queen side, it is called long castle. There are certain positions or conditions where you are not allowed to do castle. Let's see one of those conditions. One of those conditions is you cannot castle when your king is in check. Let's see this. In this position, black bishop on b4 attacks the king on e1. The white king is in check. When the king is in check, you are not allowed to do castling immediately. You have to first come out of check. So that's the first condition. You cannot castle when your king is in check. The second position is you cannot castle through the squares which are under attack. The king cannot castle through attack. Okay, let's see. For example, let's see this position. Here, the black king would like to castle short. However, the square on g8 is under attack by white queen on c4. So the squares through which the king passes to do castling should not be under attack. Here, if black castles short, the king will come under direct attack. So hence, black cannot do short castle. So is this condition even if the f8 square is under attack. Okay, black king cannot pass through check. Let's see another example wherein if your king or rook has initially moved from their starting position, you are not allowed to do castle. Okay, let's see this example. In this example, let's say you see that black queen got traded with white queen and the black king captured white queen. So the black king moved from its initial position to d8 square. Even though if black comes back to its original position, let's say now the black king came back to original position e8, still it cannot do castling because in this game Black king has already moved and it loses the right of castling. The same rule holds good even if one of the rooks have moved. Let's say the rook on h8 has been moved and it came back to original position. Black can no longer do short castle. So is the case if the rook on a8 moves. Then black cannot do long castle. So I hope you have enjoyed this lesson, and let us meet again soon on the next lesson. Until then, see you. Bye bye. Thank you.